Hey everyone, you're watching Thailand News Today, bringing you the latest updates on the country's COVID-19 response. So are we going to have another lockdown, or is an easing of restrictions coming soon? Let's find out. So starting off in the capital today, where officials in Bangkok say they may look at lifting some restrictions. Despite yesterday's reported infections going up by another 37 to a total of 1,989, officials say they're optimistic about the overall situation. The BMA has announced that if the capital avoids any new superspreader events, officials may consider lifting restrictions in the coming weeks. They've also revealed that patients in the first cluster visited or worked at restaurants, nightlife venues, or massage parlors in the capital. Officials are now tracing other customers or employees from those venues. The nearly 16,000 at-risk people who visited markets in the city have already been tested. Meanwhile, down south in Phuket, bars and other entertainment venues are being told to close at midnight, according to the latest order by the Phuket governor. Restaurants can stay open late, but are ordered to stop selling alcohol at midnight. The order is effective from today until at least January the 20th. Phuket also recently announced travel restrictions for arrivals on the island. Those traveling from high-risk areas within the red zone provinces must now self-quarantine for 14 days upon arriving to Phuket. That includes people arriving from Bangkok. All arrivals are also being instructed to download the Mo Chana application and fill out the short questionnaire. 287 new COVID cases have been reported across Thailand today, most of them coming from the original Samut Sakhon cluster that had kicked off the latest wave back on December the 20th. There are currently 4,335 active COVID-19 cases. Of the 287 cases reported today, 153 were local transmissions, 125 were among a mostly migrant worker community in Samut Sakhon, and 9 cases were detected in quarantine facilities for those arriving from overseas. The National Police are investigating what they say is a new illicit drug cocktail that they suspect to be linked to 6 deaths in Bangkok on Sunday. While autopsy results declaring the cause of death have not been released yet, police say 6 people in Bangkok died on the same day, apparently after consuming a drug mixture called K-powdered milk, or K Nom Pong in Thai. Police say the incident, where so many people died on the same day and possibly from the same illicit concoction, has never happened before. 5 out of the 6 people who died in the Wat Phra Yai district were found with a white powder at the scenes. According to the National Police Chief, K-powdered milk is a combination of a variety of other illicit narcotics and an off-the-shelf sleeping tablet. The drugs are crushed up together and resemble powdered milk. Last night, police arrested a 23-year-old female suspected of selling the drugs in the Sai Mai district near Don Mueang Airport. We've got a full video about this dangerous new concoction on our YouTube channel. Health officials have formed a subcommittee to oversee the rollout of the various COVID-19 vaccines in Thailand, including deciding priority groups. Meanwhile, the Department of Disease Control has announced that private hospitals can also go ahead with offering approved COVID vaccines outside of the government's free program. In the announcement, it said that the situation with the pandemic is changing fast. We're going to see more pharmaceutical companies requesting Thai FDA approval, and that means private hospitals will be able to provide COVID-19 vaccines. The Thai government has ordered 2 million doses of the Chinese vaccine and 60 million doses from AstraZeneca. It's understood that frontline medical workers, healthcare volunteers, and high-risk groups will be the first to get the 2 million Chinese doses when the rollouts begin next month. A very angry motorcycle passenger involved in a collision injuring 3 in Pattaya has attacked a driver involved in the crash. The Pattaya News reports that 3 people were injured after a motorcycle drove into road barriers at an intersection on South Pattaya Road. Emergency workers arrived at the scene to find a damaged motorbike and the injured driver and his 2 passengers. The driver had sustained injuries to his face and was bleeding heavily. Both passengers had sustained minor injuries. None of the injured have been named. And that's all for the news today. If you haven't done so yet, hit that subscribe button for more news to come. Meanwhile, you're up to date on the Tiger.